Is this a bonus rewind test? Did you want the mug to fall?
No. That's just a lucky break.
I'd love to give a huge thank you to the amazing folks over at Square Enix for providing me the game early in order to make this review possible. Thank you very much. So now with all that having been said, let's start the journey.
Life is Strange Reunion is the potential finale to this beloved series, and it is developed by Deck 9 and published by Square Enix. With fans learning that this game will finally bring Chloe and Max back together once more to conclude their story and potentially the series, they've been eagerly awaiting to see just where the game takes both their lives, and will it be a happy reunion, or an ending just as gut-wrenching as the first game? Only one way to find out, so let's go! Gameplay. It's hard to believe that we're potentially coming to the end of our journey through the saga known as Life is Strange, and it kinda feels a bit surreal in a way. I've been with the franchise since the first title in 2015 hit the scene, and I immediately fell in love with the characters like Chloe and Max, and even the side characters whose fate you could control based off the decisions that you made. It felt like a Telltale game, which was introduced for myself with The Walking Dead in 2012, but more personal, real-world events, and definitely way more consequences to be had. Your choices determine who can live, whose life is made easier, who dies due to not being able to handle emotional damage, etc. You were basically playing a version of God in a butterfly effect that made you question the morality of a lot of situations. Some being real-life situations people tend to go through, and it was pretty deep. Way better than pressing X to Jason, I'll say that much. After that, we got a prequel focusing on Chloe's story with Before the Storm, which was great. However, after that, they deviated from the main cast afterwards with Life is Strange 2, Adventures of Captain Spirit, Life is Strange True Colors, etc. I mean, those titles weren't bad necessarily, I just started to miss the main cast from the first two titles, at least Max, since Chloe in the canon ending was sacrificed to save Arcadia Bay. Thankfully, in 2024, my whining and waiting was answered with the release of Life is Strange Double Exposure featuring my girl Max making her grand return. While I enjoyed Double Exposure myself and even reviewed it, many fans outside myself, however, didn't like it due to the way it kind of glossed over Chloe's absence and made her seem a tad bit insignificant to Max's life, even as she got older. People even had an issue with how Marvel-like Double Exposure became as you neared its end, setting up a power versus power storyline like it was Doctor Strange versus the Scarlet Witch or something. I mean, I'm as tired of the MCU as the next person, but I never got the vibe others got, but maybe it was just me. However, I do know I felt some MCU type of way when Reunion got announced, and it was shown that Chloe will be making her long-awaited return to be reunited with Max for the first time in 11 years. Then I truly felt like the MCU with the "I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark," but in a good way. I mean, it did have an end screen with Max Caulfield will return, which is very Marvel-like, so maybe I am the one who's really in the wrong. But oh well. I just liked being back in the shoes of Max now that she's older, wiser, and explores new powers that she discovered she had. But regardless of right and wrong, Double Exposure did rub a lot of the fanbase in the wrong way, and luckily, most of this was rectified with the newest sequel, Reunion. Although the sequel fixes a lot of people's gripes that they had with Double Exposure, it still feels a tad bit disjointed here and there, with some things like some of the story stuff not lining up properly the way you remember to be canon, which can make some scenes feel a tad bit out of place or messy. And then Max will still be being confused at the depth of her powers and what they do, which is a tad bit annoying since they aren't exactly new to her. So by this time, she should actually be confident in actually using them. Yet here in Reunion, she's once again confused by them. The core theme, though, of this decision can impact everyone you love or hate remains squarely intact, because one of the strengths of this game is Max, while still being confused by her powers, still grasps the reality of them and how heavy the burden is each time she uses them. If she uses them to fix one event for someone, it will affect someone else who she may like or possibly not even be involved with and shatter their life too. And that's something she comes to grips with as the story pushes on further. Shoot, if I had her powers, I'd keep rewinding time or jumping back and forth to try and get free pizza. I'm corrupt and power hungry as hell, sue me. If there's one thing I love, it's Max feeling like Max again. I mean, I enjoyed Double Exposure, don't get me wrong, but she lost some of her charm and goofiness and awkwardness that was a personality trait. It was Max, but not the Max we knew, if that makes sense. Reunion
break.
changes that and brings Max back to her corny, goofy self while giving her a bit of naiveness on top of it, making it feel like the Max from 11 years ago never left. Much like the tragedies that befell Arcadia Bay many years ago, the general theme here in Reunion bangs a similar drum, but this time focusing on a fire at Caledon University, the storm, a college occult, and of course the return of Chloe herself, which we've been waiting for many years. As you move through the obstacles of unraveling the mystery of the fire, storm, decision-making, and wrestling with the fact, how the hell did Chloe even come back anyway? You have to take on the concept of the past, present, and future of all your actions and determine which decisions affect those outcomes of the present. Which outcomes shape the future, who lives, who dies, whose life gets better, and whose gets worse. All those decisions in this game come to a head, especially for Max and Chloe and their relationship. While narratively you should be focused on the hard decision-making and the Caledon University fire, to me, I say we don't need no water, let it burn!
The roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the mother burn, mother burn.
Okay, no, I'm not that mean. I'll save you guys, I swear. However, my interest and focus since the initial reveal trailer is first and foremost the return of Chloe and her reunion with Max. That to me is the heart and soul of what has me and most likely many others invested in the first place if we're going to be totally honest. Reuniting Max and Chloe just feels right, but also extremely natural even considering that they haven't shared screen time since 2015, especially since both of their personalities are still firmly intact. And because of this, not only do we as fans get to relive some of the nostalgia inside of us, but you're also able to witness the chemistry and heartwarming moments between these two that you were actually hoping to see between people that love each other that haven't seen each other for a very long time. Unlike whatever they did with Eleven and Max in Stranger Things, where after saving Max's life, Max being in a coma for years, and then finally waking up from her dead state to be reunited with everyone, Eleven, again, who saved Max's life, just pulled a wand of Gamelon good when seeing Max awake. It was very underwhelming and extremely disappointing, but the same can't be said for Reunion, thankfully. Much like the first entry of Life is Strange in 2015, Reunion understood the assignment and goes back to what worked for the franchise and why people fell in love with it to begin with. Not only through characters and associating yourself with them, but it explores guilt, trauma from actions or past events that have been a mental turmoil, and the impact that emotional events of the past, such as Arcadia Bay, and now with the situation of Caledon University, have had on them. And it's balanced in a way that you want to save everyone involved in the story this go around, but knowing deep down you might not be able to because the butterfly effect never ends up 100% happy. Just ask Ashton Kutcher. Unlike Double Exposure, where gameplay really was the highlight of the game, with time jumping to fix scenarios, this time, overall, the gameplay kind of takes a back seat. Not completely, mind you, you're still interacting with the world around you, but the story itself is the main focus, with making good and bad choices being done in a more straightforward manner. Stuff that is deemed a bad choice can be seen as more obvious if you pay attention to the minor details of a character or situation. So people with a discerning eye will be able to pick out good choices a lot easier than in previous entries that made you figure out narrative set pieces like putting together a puzzle to solve a mystery. This time, however, it ditches that concept and just focuses on decisions and impact of them by and large. Again, referencing Double Exposure, that game was all about new gameplay mechanics using time jumping, where you can open up portals to go forwards or backwards to change stuff, stop people from dying, get people out of jail, or catch a villain, etc. Where the story in Double Exposure failed or underwhelmed, its gameplay more than made up for it. But Reunion is flipped in that sense, with the focus moving more towards story narrative and the reunion of Max and Chloe, and then placing in the gameplay as a background set piece that has you explore your environments, find items or clues, interact with items or people that can make a scene go from somber to hilarity based off of a choice you made, making you feel rewarded for actually making it. To be honest, there's nothing revolutionary here like Life is Strange was in 2015. It's not reinventing the wheel, setting up for a huge line of sequel cash grabs, or even attempting to push this genre further. Nope. Instead, the developers have chosen to go for the closure route to give the characters the love and respect they deserve, but also an ending for the main cast that can give us as fans some closure at the end of the day, whether we agree with it or not. and that to me is more powerful and interesting than turning the franchise into something it's not, which so many people were vocal about with the direction it was heading with Double Exposure. Oh well, there goes my dream crossover of Doom X Life is Strange, where Max helps Doom Guy defeat agents of hell as she opens up portals from Earth to hell to help in his conquest. Girl can dream at least. Overall, at the end of the day, Life is Strange Reunion does its job by giving us the reunion between Chloe and Max that we have wanted since 2015. Obviously, I feel it's going to be hit or miss for people, but not in the same way Double Exposure was. For longtime fans of the series, I think the narrative focus over heavy gameplay will make them feel right at home. But for people that enjoy a more gameplay-focused experience or a perfect balance between them both, you might feel a tad bit underwhelmed if you haven't connected with these characters in the past. Do I feel it's perfect? Absolutely not. There are times when the story can get a tad bit disjointed or head-scratching, but by going back to the core of what made the characters and franchise lovable in the first place, more than makes up for it. And I consider this game as the one to let everything go out on a high note, and a much more satisfying ending than we would have had if Double Exposure was the end of the franchise. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says bye now.
Something's gotta give, I know. I've been pulling strings for too long. Bright ideas are lit to fade. I figure I've got months to change place. And I just wanna feel something different. I just wanna feel something that's not so damn persistent. 3 a.m. and I'm awake, been staring at my phone